think we're good. Yeah. People might trickle in. And that's also okay.
Right.
Good.
Last stragglers come on in.
Okay.
So, all right. You can get to know Kyra. She stands here. Also, I'm sure you met her on the shop floor. This will be a fun session. Yeah. And we've left it to last just in case Kyra feels inspired to keep it going slow. We've been trying to, on the hour, we start a little bit later, but we got all the time in the world. And of course, if anybody needs to go, we'll be here. But appreciate that you are here. It's been a great day. We've had lots of presentations. I've had a couple folks join us online. So fall in love with movement again. Somatic movement journey to cultivate this longest title ever. Cultivate a harmonious relationship with your body to feel vibrant from the inside out. Kyra Newton. So thanks so much. We're gonna have some fun.
Very good. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm a somatic practitioner, which means that I work with people through the body to get in touch with their emotions, their felt sensations, and regulate the nervous system as well as resolve trauma. And I've been a professional dancer for about 12 years of my life, trained since I was 8, and learned a lot of somatic methods through university and just being in the dance world. So I kind of bring both pedagogies together into the space here. What you're going to experience today are really simple movement tools that you can just sprinkle into your day. And you can sprinkle them into your day to connect back to your body, to relate to movement in a new way, and also if you have feelings or sensations arising that you want to be with. Yeah, so I would first love to hear, and then we can kind of popcorn this out into the space. How are you arriving in this moment? What are you noticing, if anything, in your body? And it's okay if you're like, I have no idea. In your gut. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Great awareness. Anyone else?
Openness.
Openness.
Really open.
You feel open.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of these things are very
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Stagnation from sitting. Beautiful. Yeah. Great word. Stagnation. Anyone else?
I'm just like really buzzy from that t-shirt.
Okay. And where's the buzziness in your body? Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else.
A bit warm. Okay. Great. Garacon.
Yeah.
A Garacon. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's come back, and I just invite you to take a moment to notice what happens when I say these next 3 words. Okay. And nothing, there's no right, there's no wrong. Move your body. What happens when you hear that? Just take a moment to reflect. Move your body. Go for a walk. Yeah, we can popcorn.
Yippee.
Yippee. Okay. Anyone else? Move your body. What happens physically? What happens in your mind? Awareness. Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Makes you happy. Nice. Does anyone not feel so happy? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Totally. Okay, beautiful. So sometimes when we are relating to our body in terms of creating movement, there can be a lot of emotions and sensations paired with that. We can have an approach to moving our body that feels like, I have to do this. I'm gonna get on the elliptical and move my body, or I have to go for a walk, or I have to lift weights. And it becomes this relationship to movement that is very disciplined, punishment, and not really from a place of love and care and desire. And so in this class, we're going to explore flipping that on its head. You had a thought?
I just thought of like
Self-sabotage. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, and that's so predominant in our culture, right? Like with workout culture and fitness, and movement then becomes something to add to the list instead of something that we can really cultivate to spend time with ourselves and love ourselves. So today I'm going to be, just giving you some tools that you might like, that you might not like. And that's okay. You can put them in your pocket or you can throw them away. All is good. Yeah, okay. So the first thing we're gonna start with, and I pretty much start every single workshop with this. Some of you who come regularly know, orienting. So orienting is a somatic experiencing practice, which is essentially allowing yourself to take in your environment slowly, presently. And so we're going to be looking through the space. You can start to do this with me right now. And you're just noticing. You can start to notice the colors, notice the shapes. And then I invite you to start to open your awareness and see if you can notice anything that you actually want to look at. Anything that feels interesting, pretty, appealing. There's plants over there, there's art. But it's quite individual. And then see if you land on something. So I've landed on these twinkle lights. See if you've noticed something you want to look at. And then we're going to spend 3 seconds taking it in. So whenever you've landed there, just let your eyes rest. And then you can let that dissolve. So this is a really simple entry point into not only mindfulness, but also checking in. Because sometimes when we're not able to look around, if let's say it feels like you're bracing as you're looking, that can be an indication that you're actually in a freeze response, that your body doesn't yet feel safe to orient. Orienting is our parasympathetic, it's our social engagement state of, I can be here now, I can take you in, I can take in my environment, and it's safe. So when we do the practice of orienting, we're actually telling the body to tell the brain, it's safe here. There's no danger. There's no predators. So that's something that I like to sneak in anytime I can. So next we're going to go into what I like to call body holding. And so this is essentially a practice of just finding places within your physical body that you can hold. So if you're seated, you could hold your knee, you could press your hands together, and we're going to start to play with different dynamics. So dynamic being, I can hold my own flesh, my own skin, my bones really lightly. I can also give a bit more pressure, more information. And so for many of us, if we're in a freeze state, our brain actually doesn't have an awareness that we have a body. We're stuck in our mind. So when we do this, we're telling our body, I have a body and I'm here. So just notice, maybe there's another part that you want to make contact with. If you have not ever experienced holding your head, I invite you to try that. It's very satisfying. And if you notice there's resistance to this practice, also being with that, that's okay too. So just take a moment to reflect. How is it to make contact with your body? How is it to hold your body? And then let that dissolve. What do we notice? There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad. Feels good? Relaxing? Yeah. Comforting? Yeah. Was anybody like, no, did not like that? Okay. It's okay if at any point you're like, not for me, because we can also talk about that and we can explore why it might not be for you too. Okay. So we're going to shift into a practice that you can do either seated or you can stand and try this depending on what feels more accessible to your body. It's really, really gentle. It's just swaying.
You're already starting with me. Yeah. So one thing is I can sway my body, right? I can just tell my body, we're going to sway now. And that can be fine. And I can inhabit my body as I sway. And so there's a big difference there. There's a big difference between doing a movement and being in the movement. So just notice what pace you want to go. I'm going pretty slow because it's near the end of the day and this feels good. And maybe you want to go faster. And just start to notice what happens to your thoughts. What happens to your body. Good, and then slowly allow your spine to come back to center and then just pause. Take a moment to reflect. Maybe something shifted, even if it's a micro shift. What do we notice with that? Ooh, a yawn. We love that. Thank you. You felt light? Nice. Light, yeah. Anyone? Soothing, yes. Rocking motion, yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Yes, exactly, yeah. Yes. Exactly. It doesn't have to have a set pattern and you get to move in the way that feels best for you. Yes, it is why they rock babies. And I've said this before. I don't know if I said this at my last offering here, but we rock babies because it connects us to our gravity. It creates the right relationship with gravity and stimulates our vestibular system, which basically says, I'm at peace, I'm at balance. It's okay to be here again. So anytime that we're feeling emotions like anxiety, overwhelm, chaos, stress, we can just rock and notice how that feels. And sometimes that can give us a more grounded sense or regulation. Sometimes it won't because we need to have activation first. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Or like when you go to a workout or whatever, you know, it's like, oh my God, it's a lot. And it's nice to slow down. Such a polarity from our outside world. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so rocking could be a self-soothing practice. Like I notice if I'm talking in front of a lot of people, sometimes I'll sway consciously. And that's just communicating like, I'm good, it's okay, I don't need to be nervous or stressed. And then I can really be back present and in my body. So, yeah. Okay, any other thoughts before we move on to the next one? Okay, we are going to first connect to our breath. And I invite you to just start to take a breath, your depth and pace that feels good. So that might be really slow and deep as you inhale and exhale. Might be extending your exhalation. You might even feel the desire to breathe in lots of air and then slowly letting out. So just noticing what your body wants in this moment. And then we're going to play with this idea of a big ball. Yeah. So you might just find this movement with your hands with me. Hands exploding into space, hands contracting, hands expanding and contracting. Yeah, we have more yawns. So good. Uh-huh. So here, we're going to start to find our own relationship to space. So you could have a small expansion. You could go to your full range. And we can go in diagonals. We could go more into the front space. And we're going to add a little bit of breath. Yeah. And so what we're going to do is we're going to inhale our own depth and pace as we expand. And then contract. And then again, we inhale. And then we contract. Letting your hands go in any direction that they desire. You can always change your breath. You can always decrease the tempo, increase the tempo. You could play. I'm taking about 2 more expansions and contractions. Breath involved. And then just pause. You might place your hands somewhere on your body. You might place your hands together. You might close your eyes. Or just keep them open and notice. How was that? We'll just reflect for one moment before we share. What did you notice in your body, in your breath, in your state of mind?
Relaxing.
Relaxing and loosening. Yeah. Anyone else? Did you notice anything? Dizzy. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. So that sometimes happens, especially if there's any kind of bracing or any kind of holding, especially around our diaphragm, our rib cage. When we start to invite in more breath, that gets more oxygen to our brain, that gets more blood flow. So I would probably invite you to take pauses. So you would do 1. Pause and notice. Another one. Pause and notice. So that we're communicating to the system, I can take a full breath, I can take up space, and then I can just be, I can pause. Any other thoughts, observations? Cool. Okay, so this is also a good one to do, especially if you are someone who wakes up in the middle of the night, if you have insomnia, if you find that like going to bed, your brain is like, blah. You can just stand or sit and invite in this practice, giving yourself a little bit more ease. Okay, we're good to move on? Yeah, okay. Next one is bounces. So bounces are really fun. They give us for me, it brings me back to childhood of being in a jolly jumper. Yeah. But bouncing is also really good for our joints because it creates this plasticity and this mobility. So we're going to do it first seated. And then if you'd like, you can stand up. So we're going to just first connect to our shoulders and how our shoulders feel today. So if you have any shoulder injuries or tightness or anything like this, just making note of that and allowing yourself to modify as you need. So we're going to start by bringing our shoulders up as much as you feel called. Could be micro, could be a lot. And then let them slide down, almost like soap sliding down the bathtub or the shower. And again, we bring them up, your timing. I'm just a template. You follow your body and then down. And see if you can relax your jaw if you notice that you're clenching. And you might stay here. So this might be the place where you live for the next couple of moments. And if this feels okay, you might play with a little quicker tempo of bouncing through the shoulders. Yes. No, you just breathe. Yeah. Yes. I mean, this is a practice without a tool. So you're just in your body. Yes. Yeah. 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 And if you feel like sometimes I feel the desire to really go, right? Where I'm like this. So if that's accessible in your body, you can try that. Or you might just stay with a more gentle rhythm. Yeah. Okay, so now, if you feel called, you can stand up. If you want to stay with seated, you're just going to repeat the same thing with a new awareness. This will be the second time doing it. So we're going to take this into our knees now. So you can't see my knees recording, and most of you can't either. We're going to bend our knees and then stretch. Super simple. Bend our knees and then stretch. You might even notice what happens with this. Is there crunching? Is there popping? Is there a feeling of resistance on the way down or on the way up? Good. And then we're going to find just a little increase in tempo. So it could be like bounce, 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 bounce. And if this feels okay for your body, you can increase tempo or you stay where you are. So with this, we're really allowing the joints to soften. So you might notice that your shoulders want to come up, your elbows start to bend and release, your knees really go, yeah. And you might close your eyes if that feels good and really get a sense of your bones and the weight of your bones. We can also sometimes just let our breath fall out of our body. Good, and then let's turn down the volumes. We'll get even smaller. And turn down the volume, get smaller. And then finding stillness and just check in again. Where do you feel maybe more sensation? Where do you feel more blood flow? What does your body want now? Does it feel like you need to yawn? Take a deep breath. I love all the yawns happening. This is my favorite. Ah, so good. Okay, how was that? Great, amazing, good. Did anybody like have a moment of like, yeah. Can you tell us what happened? Yes. Yeah, and where do you find the short of breath lives? Is it anywhere specific? Is it your whole chest or one specific area? Okay, yeah, so you could also play, sometimes we can also play with curving through the spine when we bounce. Because sometimes if we have any kind of bracing and restriction, which is normal, then we can feel like it's really hard to breathe when we're moving. So if we take that element out and let it be more floppy, more weighted, sometimes we can find our breath again. So you might play with that. Yeah, a little collapse and a bounce. Okay, nice. We're gonna go back to swinging. So I don't have that much space. I'm going to show you this way. So we're going to play with finding a full body spectrum, which for you could be here, depending on your shoulder flexibility. And then we're going to play with a swing collapse. So a swing collapse is when we let the whole body go and we swing and then we stack back up. We swing collapse, we ride the wave back up. So just trying that a couple times. Swing collapse, back up. Good. Let's keep going. Swing collapse. And live back up. Swing collapse. And back up. Good. One more there. Swing collapse. And back up. Nice. And then just let your arms fold out of that. Okay. What did we notice there?
Tingling up my arms.
Tingling up your arms. At what point? Through the whole thing or?
At the very end.
At the very end. Okay. Yep.
My body liked it.
Your body liked it. Yeah. Were the tingles good? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Beautiful. Anything else?
Feels like a very natural.
Uh-huh. Yes, a natural movement. Yes, beautiful. Any other thoughts? Yeah, yeah, you felt lighter after. Nice. Yeah. Anything else? Felt strange. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so your lower body felt less rigid than your upper body? Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, yep, yeah, and that's really beautiful because that gives more information too. Yep. So yeah, an urge to cry. Totally. Yep. Yeah, and that happens a lot with movement, especially because we are, we're energy beings. We have energy in our body, and our emotions are energy in motion. So when we bring the two together, sometimes things just come. And the cool thing is, we don't even need to make a story about it or have a reason why. It can just be, oh, my body wanted to cry after that, and I can let it happen. Release, exactly, which is pretty cool. Okay, we are standing, which is great. So we're going to play with a little bit of embodied boundaries. This might land in your body. This might not. And it's totally okay if you're like, didn't work. So the first thing we're going to do is just see if we can sense our skin underneath of our clothing. Maybe your arms under your shirt. Maybe you have boots or shoes on and you can feel where they're making contact with your body. Just show of hands. Can you sense your skin under your clothes or your skin on the chair? Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So now we're just going to connect to the edges of our body. So almost as if you were going to picture the edges of your skin where you start and end, and then the space around you. So we're sensing the space around our bodies. And see if there's any particular area that feels more connected. Okay, now I want to hear from you. What do you notice? Yes, yeah, yep. Same with me, actually. I think because they're so tight. Yeah. Anyone else? Is there any part of your body that was really more communicative? Any impact? Fingers. Yeah, yeah. Amazing. Yes. Yeah.
Also, when I move down, I feel
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So aware of it. Yeah. Yes, totally. Yep. Yeah. And that might be a little bit of like the brain to body connection being like, whoa, I'm right here. Oh, I'm so aware. These things that we kind of shut off to go through the day. So now we're going to play with really feeling our space, your space. So I invite you to see what it's like to just place your hands out and notice the distance between your center and the space around you. And it might be smaller than mine. And that's okay. It might be bigger than mine. And notice how this feels. Notice if any thoughts come up, any images. And then release it. Let it go. So we're going to play with a little bit of breath with this and a little bit of pushing. So this is a bit more activation than we've done so far. Yeah? So it's going to be a bit of, and it might feel a little bit fighty, as in like, this is my space, which is okay. Yeah? So just start to play with that. A little exhale, a little claiming of space around your body. You can play with above your head, beside your heart space, in front of your body. And just take you a couple more, your time. And then let that dissolve when you're ready. And then check in. How was that for you? Just a little mental note. You might scan body, tune into emotion, see if you noticed any sensation in it. And then let's share. Popcorn. You can feel gravity. Yeah. Okay. I love that. Yeah, feeling gravity. Very cool.
I just felt like energy fluctuating.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes, energy cleansing. Yeah. And could you identify that anywhere in your body? This like cleansing feeling. Yes. Yeah, heart space. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yes. And this is beautiful because sometimes, depending on where we are moving, there'll be different sensations, different images, like the heavy weight. For me, like always when I'm pushing out here, there's more of like feeling. And then here it feels easy breezy. So you might notice heavy air. Yeah. Yeah. So even that gives information. For me, this gives me information of what maybe we're sensing and feeling. Any other thoughts, impacts? Yeah, empowering. Yes. Especially if we've been conditioned not to take our space or not to take up space, claiming it and really feeling like, yeah, this is my space for my body can be empowering. So that's cool. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay, you can do this one either seated or standing, depending how you feel. If you want to stay standing, that's great. So the next one we're going to explore is a tension and a release. So this is playing with a little bit of sympathetic charge and then a down regulation. So inviting in that parasympathetic social engagement state. This is really good if you find that you're in a pattern of dissociating. If your mind is blank, you notice you're like spacing out a lot. If you're talking and it starts to sound like this, usually that means we're in a functioning freeze or we've slipped into a freeze state. So bringing a bit of tension, again, reminds the body, hey, I'm here and I can access sympathetic charge and then I can let it go. So we're going to try that. So you can do it. I like to do it with my fists. You can also do it by squeezing your elbow into the sides of your body. You can bring your shoulders up. You can clench your jaw. You can bring your legs together, especially if you're seated. So you get a play. We're going to do it a couple of times, yeah? If this starts to feel overwhelming, stop. And then just notice. Yeah? Okay. So whenever you're ready, and your breath is just flowing through this, yeah? So we're gonna start with tension. So we're gonna bring everything in. I can tense. And then waiting for your natural impulse to release and empty. And then we pause in the empty. And then you go again. When you feel that intuitive sensing, I'm gonna tense till my body says it's time to release, to empty. Good. On your next round, I invite you to go into the empty, release the tension even slower. When you're ready, tensing again, allowing that activation, that charge to be here. And then ever so slowly we come out. And then just take a moment to rest, maybe close your eyes. Perhaps inviting a full breath, your depth and pace. You might even notice you want to sway. You might even want to find that expansion movement, contraction. There might be another stretch or movement that your body's craving. Good, and then we'll come back together. Maybe just scan the space. Your eyes were closed. Okay, what did we observe? What happened? Yep. Holding your breath as soon as you went into it or while you were into it, the whole time. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yep. That is okay. Yeah, totally. I'd be curious to know, like, if we talked about it further, we'd probably discover some other things. But as long as you feel like you're still breathing, like maybe not here, but then here, and then you're inhaling, it's okay. Yeah. And what's your sense around the breath holding? If you were to give it any kind of word.
Well, I'm used to doing pauses, so sometimes time.
Yep, totally. Yep. Yeah, body patterning. Yeah. Any other impacts, thoughts, curiosities? Yep. Yeah. Yep. And so with that, it might even be that your body wants a full minute of tension. If your body starts to want tension past the minute point, then you would want to basically tell your body it's time to relax. We're going to relax now. And it also might be titrating. So teaching your body, it's okay, I can tense and I can release. And that might involve a little bit more flicking out or shaking, or like, we're relaxed, we're tense, we're relaxed. Yeah. So something to play with. Yeah. Other thoughts, curiosity. Exactly. Pumped. I love that. Adrenaline. Yeah. Well, and if we think about it in context of polyvagal, that tension is that, like, I can, right? That's fight energy, which is healthy. That's a part of our vitality and our life force energy. So when we are mobilizing through a bit of tension, yeah, it gets the adrenaline going. Sometimes it can bring up unresolved frustration or anger, or just a bit of like, which is good. And I talk about that in more in-depth workshops about how often we try and meet our tension, our anger, our anxiety with just a regulation practice. Like, okay, I'm just going to calm myself down and deep breathe. But sometimes our body actually needs to be met with the same energy. I'm angry, so I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to find that relaxation, that regulation, instead of trying to force the body to calm down, which is a different approach.
I found that I'll sit down and settle in the lower.
Yes. Yep. So then I would be curious about if you were to push your feet into the ground or something like this, where you can really press and then release comfortably. Yeah. Not with the injury, maybe with the other one, or picturing it. Picturing your legs tensing up and pushing and then releasing. Our mind is so powerful. We can picture things and they actually have a really big impact on our physicality. Yeah. What is the difference between the tense state and then the empty state? Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. We're all sitting. Great. So we're going to explore, we're going to play with a little bit of imagery. We're not all sitting. You and I are standing. Kind of look like you're sitting though. It's like a lean, soft lean. So we're going to play with waves. Who's recently seen either a video of the ocean, the river, or some kind of wave, or can pull it from your mind? Nice. Yes. Yeah, we have an idea around waves. So we're going to explore finding waves through our hands. And I invite you to close your eyes if that feels okay. And just picture the kind of wave that's most interesting to you. Is it the wave of a river? Is it a big tidal wave? And if you don't work with image, then just playing with the sensation of creating a wave. And notice where this wants to exist in your hands and your fingers. Is it really delicate and small? Is it big? Does it live somewhere in between? Good, and let's keep playing and bring that into your elbows. So creating a little bit more texture, more movement through the elbows, through the wrists, through the fingers. And if you have an image, a picture in your mind, really seeing how it is to be here. And then you could either stay here or you could start to invite in your whole arms all the way from your shoulders through your elbows, your wrists, your fingers. Finding different ways to explore ocean wave, river wave. And you might even play with the space around your center so you can find asymmetry. And this is where we really get into nonlinear movement, more intuitive movement, where the waves start to move us instead of us creating the wave. Yeah, really inhabit your body, sensing. And then allow that to slowly dissolve. And then just find empty space for your arms. Maybe rest them. Checking in with them. How do your arms feel? How do your hands feel? Maybe thoughts. Good. If we have any feeling words, let's pop those into the space. A feeling word could be like joy, peace, calm, tired, content, presence, gentle, awake. Good. And then some sensation words. So sensation could be tingly, heavy, light, moldy. Oh, holding. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Spaced out. Yep. If we were to put that in a sensation, that's kind of a state of being. If I were to ground that into a sensation, spaced out. Lightness. Yeah. Any other sensations? Sore. Yeah. Anywhere specific? Shoulder. 1, 2, 1. Yeah. And what was your sense around moving with a sore shoulder? How did you approach it? Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Any other words? Any images that were like really, really clear or anchored? Uh-huh. The wave coming off onto the shoreline. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Rolling towards the shoreline. Cool. One more? Anyone? Whoa, over rocks. Yeah. Very cool. Jessica, you want to? Cool. Yeah. Calm, then stormy, then calm. Yeah. Dynamic. Amazing. Okay, so let's let that one go. If you want, you can flick it out. Just clear palette. So we're going to get into, if anyone suffers from like vertigo imbalances or inner ear stuff, you're not going to do the humming part of this, okay? Because it can create a little bit more dissonance in your body. So we're going to be inviting in a hum, super gentle with our lips closed and a soft tongue, as soft as we can. So just try that. Keep humming. So this humming is vibrating our internal organs. It's also stimulating our parasympathetic. So it's communicating, it's good, we're okay. So we're going to play with this humming, and we're going to invite in a little bit of movement that comes from our rib cage, our sternum bone, our spine. So you can do this standing, you can do it seated, humming, and then moving through the torso. Good. If you haven't tried it yet, try relaxing your arms by your side, letting them just flow with your torso. So your spine leads, your hum initiates. Let's take one more. And then finding stillness, whatever that feels like in this moment. Being the observer of your experience. Okay, we're gonna save our shares for a moment. We're gonna add in another imagery point of warm liquid honey. Yeah, so honey that's like, you know, when you pick up a spoon and it's like, so we're gonna, but delicious. So we're gonna stay with the humming, with the moving of our torso, but we're gonna drop in this honey. So it might make your movement a little bit more thick, maybe a little bit slower, but the vibration, you'll probably notice, stays the same and creates a different feeling, felt experience. So whenever you're ready, breathing in through your nose. Good, nice slow movement, thick movement through honey with your body. Humming, breathing in through the nose. And taking one more, breathing in to hum. And letting it slowly come to its own end. Okay. And what's arising now for you? Yawns. Tingling all over. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah. It's a bit silly and goofy. Yes. Yes. Great. Yeah. Anyone else? Centered. Yeah. Yes. A hive of bees, totally. Yeah. And you both had this beautiful gesture like this, which is to me like community connection coming together. So your body's already really speaking. Yeah. The which one? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Not in a bad way with the resistance. Yeah. 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 And sometimes when we invite our body to slow down, our brain is like, what are you doing? You know? So, and we can always titrate that. Titrating means we do a little bit at a time and then we do something else. So we can move really slow. I'm going to hum and move ever so slowly. And then I might move a little quicker. So we're giving ourselves a safe, digestible experience of something slow that maybe has resistance around it. Okay, let's check time. Nice. Okay, we're just gonna do, it's called a small dance. So it's not really a dance. You can call it small movement if you have things around the word dance. So we're gonna, usually this is done standing, but you can also do it seated, connecting to your sits bones, those two bones under your glutes. So I'm going to be cueing standing first and then sitting next. Yeah. So if we're standing, we're going to be initiating movement from the bottom of our feet. So that's going to be going onto the weight of your toes. Yeah. And if you can let your arms hang, that will be really, really supportive. Shifting onto your heels, one foot, the other foot, the outside edge, inside edge. Can create circles or lines. So if you're seated, you're going to shift your weight from one side of your sits bones to the other. You might send your weight farther back into the chair, farther forward. And if your eyes are open, you might close them and just allow your body to move you instead of moving your body. So this is internal, following the energy pathway, following sensation, what feels good. You can let your knees get involved where we bend our knees. You can bend one knee, two knees. Good. Last prompt here. Let your jaw hang, soft tongue. Like this. Uh-huh. And then slowly letting that come to its own end. Plenty of time. And just finding a moment, taking a full breath, your depth and pace. And then we can sit down again. Okay, so yeah, if you want to share about that experience, you can spend a lot of time in a small dance, because when we start to let that movement travel up and work with tension points. So if, for example, like I carry most of my tension here, but I can start to find like, okay, oh, when I'm in my back, the back of my heels, I'm really gripping. When I'm in the front, I'm more released. So you can start to play with the small dance and how it impacts your jaw, your throat, your rib cage, all parts of your body. Are your arms like this as you're going? How long does it take for your arms to relax? So sometimes I invite my clients to set a timer, like 7 minutes, small dance, 2 songs, write what you notice after that. And there's no right or wrong. Noticing is noticing. Yeah, any reflections? It could be on what we just did or the whole experience. Fun? Yay! We didn't even have music and it was fun. I love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad it was nice. Freeing! Love that. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah. Yes, yeah, tuning in and feeling. Yeah. There was someone over here that said something. Yeah, yeah, yawning is good. Yawning, coughing, burping, digestion, moving is all a sign that we're coming out of sympathetic charge and we're coming into some regulation. So it's good. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Yay. Yeah. Empowering to, yeah, be in our body. Yeah, yeah, totally. Yep. Take back control. Yeah. Yep. Any other thoughts? Curiosity? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, and I like this movement that you did. Release and letting go. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. Any other thoughts? I notice you have your hand here. Are you aware of something? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes, and this might not be for you specific, but it brought something forward for me. Sometimes when we do this work, we can also become even more aware of pain in our body or tension or injury or where we're holding. And we can learn to meet those places with tenderness and care. Yeah, which is sometimes hard too. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Expansion? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah. Cool. I love that. Yeah, it's also nice to like meditate after these kinds of experiences because your brain is less like, gotta do the to-do list, walk the dog, eat bananas, you know? You're like, I'm here. Eat bananas. You know? Yeah, cool. Any other thoughts? Great. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a little seed planting now. I have a free 3-day training on more of this, like digestible, simple tools that you can sprinkle into your day, more focused on fight, flight, and freeze, as well as resources. It's next week, 19/20/21, online. If you can't make it live, there's also a recording. So you can just kind of watch it and see what lands for you. And it's free. So that's fun. So if you're curious about that, I have a little thing that you can put your email down for. You'll just get one email, don't worry, only for that training, unless you want to be on my email list. Yeah, and thanks for being here. So fun. I'm gonna clap for you. Yay! Yeah, it's also last thing, it's courageous to come into spaces where you're gonna be in your body. We live in a society that's so in our mind to even like step into a space where you're gonna do yoga or do dance or somatics is big. So give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Everybody's experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, it is a Latin word. So soma, soma means body. Somatic I should have said this at the beginning. Somatic refers to like the entry point through the body versus psychotherapy and psychology, which is through the mind. Somatic is entering through the body. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Bye. See you. Yeah, no problem.
Somatic, what is the title of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of my own thing that I've developed, but yeah, somatic movement would be the house.
And that is just online, not live.
It's just online. Yes. Yep. It's on Zoom. Yeah. And then there's a recording. Yay. You're so welcome. I'm glad. Yay. Bye. Yeah, it's here.